Hello, my name is Josh and I'm a watchaholic. Welcome to Horology Insanity.
What is up, my watch friends? So, check this out. I have these SARB033s sitting here because y'all know that I had a buddy of mine who I think is maybe wanting one of these or has been eyeing them, and he's trying to decide if it's worth it or not. And so I'm going to send him a boatload of watches, including these two, so that he can get a feel for them. And yeah, I do happen to have two of them. This one is a factory OEM. This is a mod kit. I still have a sapphire crystal with a Cyclops that I've got to install on this one. But you can see I'm doing a little Datejust homage type thing over here with that president style bracelet. But let me set these in the background and let me reveal the title of this video, or the subject of it. This is 10 watches I would buy instead of these SARB033s. Yeah, I'm not trying to bag on these things. I own two of them. They're fantastic watches. However, in my other video, I talk about it. I think Seiko discontinued these. They're really popular. The prices are going through the roof. And if I'm honest, it's getting to the point to where these things aren't worth what people are asking for them. They're just not. But I think people are riding the hype train and they're paying premiums for a watch that, I don't know, I wouldn't do it. I think there are other options out there that are either a better watch for the price, or that you can get kind of something similar but at a different price tier but is probably a better overall value. And so that's what I'm going to talk about in this video. So these I'll just set back here, and that's what we're going to be comparing everything to. So let's see how I want to do this. We'll just count them down from 10 to number 1. My favorite picks, my top picks to not get one of these and to get something else instead will be at the end. Let's just start off with Chinese specials. This is a Pagani Datejust homage. And again, the whole reason that I'd even compare this, again, for the price, is because if you're going to do a mod like I've got here on the right, then for the money, yeah, you can't beat this Pagani. I know it's a Chinese special and people are going to think something of that, but that's what I would get. In fact, I have one. I adore that watch. I love to wear it. It's great on wrist. The dial's beautiful. So that would be my first pick. The other one I would do is the Cadisen C1032. This is specifically the black dial variant. They also make a silver dial, but since we're comparing it for the SARB033, I would do this black dial. The bang for buck in this Cadisen is unreal. It is absolutely unreal. And so I would go with this probably before I'd recommend getting a SARB033. In spot number 9, this is a little bit of a different price tier. However, I'm going to go with some inexpensive Casios. Now, in this case, like if you really need a black dial, you might go for this option here. I don't know the model numbers of all these. If I can look them up or find them, I'll put them up in the video. But this is another one. You can see I've got the fluted bezel on this one. So this has got the Datejust vibes going on with kind of a gray dial, black dial here with the day-date complication. And then the other one that I'd recommend, slightly more expensive, but the Casio Edifice with the black dial. You can dress this thing up, dress it down. It really is fantastic. And it's large, it's legible, it looks great. So I would probably recommend any of these Casios if a quartz is an option for you, mind you. If quartz is an option, any of those Casios I think are maybe a better option than the SARB033. The next one, it's another Casio, but this one's a little bit more expensive and they're fetching premiums online. They're super hard to find, but this is the Casio Beside. There's the model number for that. Yeah, this has got like the whole integrated bracelet, kind of like the AP Royal Oak, but in this case you can see that textured dial. That is absolutely beautiful. This is a black variant, even though in real life it looks a little gray because of the texture in some lights. But this is, again, it's a quartz. So if quartz is an option, then this might be an option for you. Number 7, I'm going out the box a little bit. and I'm going into the micro brand space, I would probably rather have this Zelos Visionary V1. It does have a gray dial. Technically it's meteorite, but with the beautiful classic styling on this, it does have the automatic movement. In fact, I think that's the Salida movement inside of here, if I can get that to focus. But I would definitely go with something like this in the micro brand space before getting that SARB at the overinflated prices that they're going for. Now, number 6 is another micro brand, but this one I want to look at the Vario. And this is the Vario Empire, specifically the one with the black dial. There are a couple of different variants of this, but I like this watch. It's got kind of a similar styling as the Cadisen when you look at the case shape and just the accent marks, the layering that it has. It has a very different dial, but when I wear it, I get a similar vibe from these two watches. But yeah, the Vario is a great watch. It does come in both a hand wind and in an automatic, and so you have that as an option. And I'll throw it in as a side one. I don't have it sitting here in front of me. There's a Timex Waterbury quartz that looks just like this Vario, and so that might be another option for you. Again, we're looking at the SARB033 with a black dial. I might recommend something like this instead, especially at the price point. You can get those Vario Empires for significantly cheaper than the SARBs. All right, with that, let's move down into the top 5. I purposefully made all of these top 5 selections major brand names. So if one of the reasons why you're attracted to the Seiko, or specifically to these SARB033s right here, is because of the name, maybe you don't want a quartz, maybe you don't want a micro brand or a Chinese special, kind of an off brand name, then these hopefully will hit a little bit better spot for you, even though I think 2 of them are quartz. No, 3 of them are a bunch of them are quartz actually. All right, no, we'll see. I don't mind quartz. I don't mind quartz. I don't understand. I get the horological heritage. I get the mechanical stuff. I get all of that. But I think in some cases, depending on what you want, you can get a better movement. And this next one is a great example for the price, and it's for the accuracy of it. The Bulova Precisionist. Now, this is a quartz watch. However, you'll notice that it has a sweeping, smooth second hand. And I can't say for certain it's smooth like my Grand Seiko is smooth, right? Let's just say it. It's smoother than most any mechanical or automatic watches. It is real smooth. The other thing is it's very, very, very accurate. And so there's a couple of high accuracy quartzes out there. You know, I could have thrown in like a Longines Conquest or a VHP, but those are getting up in price, mind you. But for the money, this Bulova is hard to beat. Now, I know Bulova gets some mixed signals or mixed reputations. Some people love them, some people hate them. I don't mind them. I love this watch right here, and I'd highly recommend it. Number 4. I found it, I think, on eBay, and it gives me kind of an A Longa and Zona vibe with the date up at the top the way that it is. I would recommend this, whatever it is. I'll try to get the model number and throw it up on the screen. But look at a Citizen. Now, again, Citizen, this is going to be a quartz watch. Some of them may even have the solar functionality, which I love. This one does not. But when it comes down to like a daily beater type watch, which is what a lot of people get SARBs for, the SARB033, I think that this might be a better all-around choice for the price. Now, the next one, I have an example of this at number 3, but this isn't the example that I might choose, so I'm going to kind of talk about that. I would look in spot number 3 at a Tissot. Now, Tissot has got a ton of brand heritage, and this is a quartz watch option. This is a super thin dress watch. It has the anthracite gray dial in it, which I adore. I kind of wish it didn't have a date window if I'm being picky. However, when it comes to the classic styling of the SARB, where you might want to dress it up, then Tissot might be a good option, and it's almost assuredly going to be a better watch for the price. Now, this one not in particular, this isn't what I'm necessarily referring to when I say all that, but I'm going to throw out there the Tissot Powermatic 80. I would definitely jump on one of those Powermatic 80s over one of the SARB033. I think it's a far better watch, so you really can't go wrong with it. But anyway, all around, whether it's the Powermatic 80 or whether it's this Tissot Quartz, I think you're getting a better value all around than you're getting with the SARB033 overinflated hype prices. Down to number two, and I'm going to be honest with you, I had a real hard time picking which one of these should be in the number one slot. I did pick, and I have a reason for that, and so I'll talk about that in a second. But at number two, I want to talk about Casio Oceanus. Now, this specifically is the OCW-S100, and I would actually get this particular watch. They wear very similar. They're a very similar kind of size. Now, this one here is a titanium. They do make the Oceanus in stainless steel as well, but you can see that you can dress it up, you can dress it down. So it has a lot of versatility the way that the SARB033 does. This one is more of a black blue accent, and so there are other Oceanus in the lineup that you could get. And again, this is a quartz watch, but it's a fantastic quartz watch. The finishing on these Oceanus, again, for the price, I would compare it, well, you can't technically compare it to Grand Seiko, but it's similar, right? For the prices that Grand Seiko is doing and the finishing that they're known for, I think that at this price tier, nothing can beat the finishing of these Oceanus watches. They're absolutely brilliant. And so, yeah, highly recommend this. I'm hard pressed to make this the number one pick, even though I wanted to. I wanted to make this the number one pick, but I didn't because it is a quartz watch. And I think I have a better pick at number one that I want to share with you. At number one, y'all know that I love the G-Shock 5610BA. This is my number one keeper for life, and I'm just joking. This is not my pick. This is what I want. I wear this watch like every day, and I can't take it off. I got all these other watches, and I wear them periodically, but this is my go-to. And so, yeah, this really would and should be at the top of every single list that I ever make. But I'm just kidding. This isn't what I'm talking about for the SARB replacement. So let's get the actual one that I'm talking about now. At number one, it is another Seiko, and this one is specifically the SARX 045. But in general, my top recommendation of what someone should buy instead of getting a SARB033, it's any of the Seiko SARX lineup. Now, you can shop them new, you can shop them used, you can shop them on Macy's, you can shop them on Jama Shop, Gray Market stuff, Long Island Watch. Look around, you can find these and deals can be had on them. But when I factor in how much one of these SARBs is now going for, let me get that upside right, considering how much these SARBs are now going for with their what I'm going to call stupid level hyped pricing and premiums, you can get a deal on one of these SARX. And the SARX, in my opinion, is a way better watch. Overall finishing is much better. Styling is much better. Just all around, I would go with one of these SARX watches instead. Now, somebody might say, oh, but the SARX are too large. If a couple millimeters really makes that big of a difference for you, well, then here's the trick. You can talk yourself into paying more than you should for one of these SARBs. You can. And if that's what you want to do, well, then I say do that. If it means that much to you, well, then the little bit of money that you spend overpaying on one of these SARBs, I don't know, you might enjoy it. If you really love it that much after seeing all the options out here and weighing it out. I say this in several of my other videos, like when I have to speak negatively or critically about a watch. If you hear me say all the negative and critical things I have about a watch and you still want it, well, then you should probably get it, right? You should. You really should, because you've surpassed everything else. And for you, that might be a great pick. But I would go with the SARBs. I just would. This SARBs is all around a billion times better watch. The bracelet's not janky. Look at that giant like gap you got in here. You don't get that. The finishing on this SARBs is one of the few Seikos that I actually wear on the bracelet. I keep it on there. It's fantastic. Yeah, you just can't go wrong. Anyway, that's my recommendation. Check out the SARBs. I probably wouldn't buy a SARB033 unless you can get them at a great discount, which is almost unheard of now that they're discontinuing them and they're getting sucked up by everybody. But this right here, SARBs 045, this is my number one top pick for real. Even though, yeah, you probably could just buy one of these G-Shocks still and be better off. All right, my friends, that's my list. Tell me what you think down in the comment section. 1, do you own a SARB033? And if you do you think they're worth the prices that they're currently going for? I really am genuine to know. What do you think is the max price that those SARB033 should top out at? I'm curious to hear that. And then out of this list, maybe, what would you pick if you had to pick one of these? And if not, just in general, what else would you recommend instead of the SARB033? Do you think the SARBs is a better lineup overall? And if not, why? I'd love to hear about it. I'd love to talk to you more down in the comments. All right, and with that, we'll call this one a wraps. Until we talk again, my friends, please remember what really matters, and that's not watches. Keep the insanity sane.